Hello, my loves. Diana Hemmeke coming to you live for the God Wants to Talk to You challenge, which is still going on. It's probably going on forever. We are on day 36, and we read, and then we contemplate, and then we read again. And one thing, if you follow me, you know that I am all about universal love, which is, let me just move over here. Which is God's love, unconditional love. And to be in a world that is only conditions, duality, it's a little weird that there's an aspiration even to get to a point where we are able to love unconditionally. And what came through in this letter had to do with karma and the reason and its connection to our ability to love with no conditions. And so I'll read you the letter and then we'll contemplate and then I'll read it again. Dear God, what would you have me know today? My love, things become more meaningful as you experience them from different angles. You looking forward to something, then experiencing it, and then remembering it. Also, living a situation in one position first and then later in life again, but in the opposing position. This way, you see more of reality. This is also why you experience one thing as the giver in one life, and then you experience the same thing, but as the receiver in the next life. You call this karma, but it is here to show you more of reality. You are here to experience everything, to love everything, and to find deep understanding and compassion for everything and everyone. The best way to get there is to teach you the principle that there are countless versions of anything that could ever happen. And by experiencing countless conditions to your experiences, you begin to transcend your own conditions, and unconditional love becomes available to you. To be able to experience the world, but love without conditions, is what I sent you here for. And you are on the way there. Thank you for receiving this message. Love, God. That is interesting. And it makes sense to me. It's like I am part of this group, and one of our first jobs as a group that we kind of gave ourselves was to fully understand shame. And shame is a very human concept. We all have moments of shame. We all have things that we're ashamed of. And what happened in this group as we really contemplated this and then also brought forward the specific things that we are ashamed about, what became so clear was in my body, that was my experience as the people in the group brought forward what they're ashamed about. They brought forward their most shameful things. Oh my God, I'm so ashamed of ... And then they described a story or a situation or an aspect about themselves or whatever. And whenever I heard that in my body, it was like, there's no reason to feel shame about that. Like, why would you even? Nothing in my body says, ooh, shameful. And as many of us came forward with their shameful stories, it became so clear, like everyone everyone has this shame attached to certain things, but from the outside none of it feels shameful. And so shame in itself kind of lost its grip and lost its credibility. It felt like, what's what is this shame thing then? If it's not even holding up being told in a group to anyone, none of us was like, well, yeah, about that, you should really feel shameful. That never happens. It's such a personal, mind created thing. And so there we were getting so many perspectives on shame. And by getting so many angles and so many, you know, stories and instances where people are like, oh, well, I'm ashamed of that. By hearing all of it, the shame concept in itself kind of crumbled and didn't have power over us anymore because of the multiple experiences that we collected as a group. And I am a strong believer that by experiencing something, either from one side in the beginning years of our lives, and then the same thing from the other side, gives us more understanding on compassion. And the classic thing about that is we were all children and we all have parents and we're all annoyed at our parents at some point. And you don't even understand me. And then if we choose so, we become parents. And then we're on the other side. And then in the moment when they think we can see them, our children roll their eyes at us. You don't even understand me. And and then many of us, I believe, I don't have children of my own, but when they are in the parent role then and experience certain things that they have experienced as a child, they probably think back and say, well, I understand my parents now. And there we go, understanding and compassion for our parents. And at the same time, if we are that aware and sharp, then we will very well remember how it felt to be the child and not feel understood. And so we have more compassion and understanding for the child, which makes the situation more bearable for the parent. And also, if we choose to let our child know this, makes our child feel more seen and understood. And the same goes for karma that just plays itself out over multiple lifetimes. The reason for this is not punishment. The universe doesn't punish. In the universe, there are only laws, and those laws have no moral. These are just the programming. Those are the programs of our reality. So it's just the logic with which reality just unfolds, happens. And there's no such thing as, well, this was bad, and so now you get punished. It's not a thing. What is a thing is, this was bad, you experienced a certain situation, perhaps even created it. And now to the universe, it is important that you understand the situation fully. So now if you have created a situation with a great duality of, for example, a villain and a victim, then it is because you have created this situation, this moment. You have created great duality. So you must understand this new situation that you have just created from all angles. But the universal law, the programming, is not you get punished. The universal law is you want to experience everything, which on a soul level we all agree to. We choose our experiences in our lifetimes in order to experience certain things. And the more nuanced our collection of experiences become around anything, the more we know about it, the more depth we have about it. And with that, when we begin to understand that there are countless many ways to look at and experience a situation, then we transcend all conditions, because we understand if there are countless versions of this. There cannot be a right way. And we're also not that tied to conditions anymore entirely. And so karma is basically the way to unconditional love, which I have said this before today in a group, in a mastermind around a different topic. And the sentence ended the same way, but it was, well, vulnerability is the way to unconditional love. And all the roads lead back to Rome. All roads lead back to love. So everything, all the laws in the universe play out in order for us to land back in unconditional love, in our understanding of ourselves as love, which that is what we are, which that is the undercurrent energy of everything that exists. All right, so we read again to close. Dear God, what would you have me know today? My love, things become more meaningful as you experience them from different angles. You looking forward to something, then experiencing it, and then remembering it. Also, living a situation in one position first and then later in life again, but in the opposing position. This way, you see more of reality. This is also why you experience one thing as the giver in one lifetime, and then you experience the same thing, but as the receiver in the next lifetime. You call this karma, but it is here to show you more of reality. You are here to experience everything, to love everything, to find deep understanding and compassion for everything and everyone. The best way to get there is to teach you the principle that there are countless versions of anything that could ever happen. But by experiencing countless conditions, to your experience, you begin to transcend your own conditions, and unconditional love becomes available to you. To be able to experience the world and love without conditions is what I sent you here for. And you are on the way there. Thank you for receiving this message. Love, God. All right, my loves. I love you. And I'll see you later for the next letter.